welcome to the very long-awaited, updated Monster High collection video. My original one was filmed in February of 2017, and it is currently my most viewed video on my channel. I'm always being bombarded with questions like, do you still collect Monster High? When are you going to update them? I'm going to go over some really quick things before I get into the video. Number one, this video is going to be really long. I have 189 dolls. I think I have like more than 40 that were featured in the last video, and I didn't want to divide it, so it's going to be long just for the sheer number of dolls. And I like to tell stories about all of my dolls because that's why I love collecting. So if you just want a video where someone shows a doll and like moves on, this is not for you. You have been warned. So
if you want to know more about any of the dolls, you can read about them on Flickr.
Yeah, and also on that note with Flickr, if you are trying to like see these dolls because you're trying to identify them, like your dolls using my video, or you are just making a wish list for yourself, it's a lot easier just to go and look at my Monster High album on Flickr, and that will always be more up to date than this video because this video is going to be out of date as soon as I get another doll. And I also have like play sets and fashion packs and all kinds of other things in that album.
And they're not currently wearing things like their shoes and their headbands because we pulled these guys out of storage for this.
Yes. I didn't feel like putting all their shoes on for the video. It was already a 2-day project. A few other things that came up a lot with my last video. No, I don't have all the Monster High dolls ever made. No, that is not even close to like my intention. This is a reflection of the dolls that I happened to find on sale, that I happened to find secondhand, and the ones that I just really wanted and bought. This collection is very different than most of my others because I have a high percentage of store purchase dolls. That's because I got into collecting these about a year after my dad passed away, and this was my way of coping. So I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing you could do. I basically just went on a binge and bought a bunch of dolls, and then I had to cool it off for a while, which is why I got so many in the beginning, and then they kind of spread out more. I've been collecting since March of 2013. Please keep that in mind. This collection didn't happen overnight. I'm not rich. I worked hard to, you know, make the money and to wait for the dolls to go on sale and to go pounding pavement looking for them in places. So if you're looking to have a nice doll collection, you have to put the work in. You're not going to wake up and have 1,000,000 dolls. And I just feel like a lot of people in my last video didn't seem to understand that, and I just feel like anyone...
And thought we woke up one morning and they...
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, anyone can create the collection they want for themselves if you're willing to make the sacrifices and put the work in. And let's just get to it. So we're starting in alphabetical order with Abby, and we're going to move through each of the dolls. So all the single dolls that we only have one of are going to be at the very end of the video. This is I Heart Fashion Abby. I got her at the Salvation Army, and she obviously does not have her outfit, but I always wanted this doll because she has these really awesome purple lips. Then we have First Edition Abby. She's one of my oldest Abbies in my collection in terms of who I've had for a really long time. I got her during the summer of 2013 on eBay. She was still boxed. She was like about $30-ish boxed, and that was like including shipping and stuff, and that's why I was so excited to find her, and I love her little fuzzy white detailing.
I think it looks like she murdered a Muppet for the fur.
Then we have Dead Tired Abby. I got her and the Draculaura and Claudine from the series together at the Family Dollar because they were like a buy one get one half off deal.
This is our second Abby.
Yeah, Scarce Abby, my very first. I got her,
my favorite.
Yes, on sale at Walmart for like a few dollars off. She'll always be really special because she was my first. Then we have Roller Mais Abby, who does not have glitter on her face. I don't know if you can tell. I've always loved her really short, unique hair. I got Roller Mais Abby here at Target along with quite a few other dolls sometime in like the spring of 2013. We had sold a bunch of like scrap metal that was my dad's, and so we had some extra money. Home Ick Double the Recipe Abby. I got her and Heath brand new. We went to Target for these dolls but go like an hour out. So
Shelly had planned on buying the 4 classroom dolls for her birthday that year, and she'd even pre-ordered them and everything, but they canceled the pre-order. So then I made 100 calls to like every Toys R Us, Target, and Walmart in the area, trying to get a hold of both sets. And in the end, we got Ghoulia and Cleo first, and then these guys, and we had to go out to Target to get them. So
yeah, and so therefore they're really special because I appreciate all the effort and work Colin put into getting me them, and they're classroom themed, and I love the Home Ick dolls especially. You know, I love Heath and I love their theme, and this Abby is darling. Then we have 13 Wishes Haunt the Casper Abby. I actually really didn't like this doll when the Haunt the Casper line came out because all the others were so gorgeous and her hair just looked scary in the box. But she went on sale for $5 at Walmart, and I was like, all right, sold, you know, if it's cheap enough. And I actually really like her, and her hair, once it's tame, is much more manageable. Then we have Music Festival Abby. I have wanted her, like I had wanted her when she came out. She's got this really cute hippie theme, but I decided to wait until she went on sale. And the funny thing is, I had ordered some Monster High dolls from Kmart's website, and they accidentally sent me a Music Festival Abby and a bunch of other dolls, some that I already had, instead of what I ordered. And I didn't want to keep them because it's not what I ordered. So I ended up having to return them, but that made me want Music Festival Abby even more, and I got her and actually Coffin Bean Abby together at Barnes & Noble on sale. They were running a 50% off sale on them, so I believe these were like $6 or $7 each for like the slim box dolls. And I love Coffin Bean Abby. I liked her right off the bat when they came out with these dolls, and Colleen did not understand why I was buying her that day until I had her out of the box at home.
She's like wicked enchanting. One of my favorite Abbies.
Enchanting was exactly the word I was going to use for her. And then we have my two Catrin dolls. This is Scarus Catrin. She was my first, and also the first Catrin they made. I loved the idea of a white cat girl when the Scarus line was in stores, but my local Walmart never had Scarus Catrin, so I happened upon her one day at a different Walmart, and I ended up buying her, and she's really, really gorgeous. And then, of course, we have Scaremester Catrin, who was not in my last video. I got her this past Memorial Day weekend, so 2019, and she was part of this lot called the Limbless lot. So I was going to buy Catrin and a Laguna doll you'll see in a few minutes from this seller, and he and a few other Monster High dolls, and when he found out that the dolls were missing limbs, he felt bad, and he said we could have all of them for what?
$2.
$2. So, and there was Barbies too. I had to buy Catrin hands online because she was missing a forearm and then a hand. An oldie but a goodie. This is Gloom Beach Claudine. She was one of my very first secondhand Monster High dolls. I got her in the fall of 2013 in the Laguna bin. It was this $10 bin of some Fashionistas Barbies, other Barbie stuff, some Bratz, and 3 Monster High dolls. And I just about died when I saw her and Laguna and Frankie, because at the time Monster High dolls were really hard to find secondhand, and everyone was way overpaying for them. Sister Pack Claudine, she is one of my absolute favorites, and the funny thing is I made a special trip to Target to buy this pack for Halloween, but I've always liked Claudine way more.
Another fun fact is that when we went, we had them hold them at the register, but then when we went to Latoya, we realized we didn't need to do that because they had a whole bunch of them still.
Yeah. And actually, my set was wonky, but I didn't swap it out for a better one, because, you know, those were the dolls that were put aside for me. Then we have Sweet 1600 Claudine. I got her at Barnes & Noble on sale, the Barnes & Noble Bonanza, as we call it, with those Abbies. And I absolutely love her. I think she is the prettiest of the Sweet 1600 dolls. Then we have Roller Mais Claudine, who is one of my absolute favorites. I wanted her really badly. She was one of the ones I wanted from this set most of all, but she wasn't at stores as much around here.
She was actually one of the ones you tried to order from Kmart.
Yeah, and it was weird. She wasn't out of date. They just didn't have her. So she was on my wish list for a long time, and then she turned up at the flea market in 2016 with a bunch of like the really old Monster High dolls, and she was one of my favorite finds. Then we have Coffin Bean Claudine, who was not in the last video. She was one I used to see in stores all the time when I started collecting, but I didn't buy her because she had that playset, so she kind of costs more money than I wanted to pay. I found her at the Salvation Army this year, so she wasn't wearing this outfit though. I found her outfit first, and it was on, we'll talk about the Scarce Claudian here. And I didn't recognize her as Scarce Claudian at first because she was so trashed. So I bought her for the outfit, and then when I got home and I realized I had her already, I happened to have the swimsuit and I added these straps to hold it up. That's how this Claudine came to be, and then the next week we found Claudine, so it all worked out. Then this is Music Festival Claudine. I got her at Barnes & Noble on sale.
She was my favorite from that line. I always just thought she had a beautiful face.
Yeah, I like Abby's outfit better, but she's one of the prettiest Claudine dolls. I think Claudine is like one of the prettiest characters. You're going to hear a lot of like, this is one of my favorite Claudines, because Dead Tired is also one of my favorites. She's still to this day my favorite from this wave of Dead Tired, and she was the reason I wanted to get the line, and she was my very first Claudine doll, and I got her at the Family Dollar with the other 2 dolls from her line on sale. Then we have my first Skull Shores pack Claudine, so you could only get her in the pack. She was the reason I really wanted the set, and I found it on sale at Target, and I also happened to have a gift card, so I ended up getting the pack for $15, I think.
I want to say about $15.
Yeah, which was great, because I already had 2 of the separately sold dolls, so it was great to get it for so cheap, and I love her green in her hair. This is first edition Claudine, but she's the 2012 re-release. I wanted her and Draculaura so badly when they, first announced that they were coming out with the re-releases, because I missed out on getting the originals in stores. I wasn't collecting then. And I found them, I found her on Target's website.
And I remember she yelled both times that she found these re-release dolls on the websites. She yelled, "Colleen!" But I was in the bathroom and I knew that she'd finally tracked down Claudine when I heard her yelling that way. And I'm like, Claudine finally appeared.
I stalked them like crazy, and I should note that they're identical to the original releases. Frankie has a slight facial variant, but the newer ones aren't strung through the hips, so they sit better. So if you're gonna pick between the 2, go for the slightly newer release of 2012, because their legs will sit better, but you're getting all the same stuff, and their journals have a slight...
I was about to say, and the only other difference is the journals. The older ones have this like red thing with a code.
Yeah, I have pictures of it on my Flickr. Little Dead Riding Wolf. I got her at Target on sale after an eye doctor's appointment in the summer of 2013. A lot of my store-bought dolls I got around that time. I kind of went a little crazy, because that's how I coped with losing my dad. So that's why there were so many. I want to say she was like $9, and she was wearing a hood in the box, so when I took her like hood down, I was blown away. Her and Snow Bite are 2 of my like best Monster High dolls in my collection, in my opinion. I think they're really high quality and just really gorgeous.
I think you were even more excited about them than Sea Stunner's Chloe.
I know, and I'm a Bratz girl, but... Sorry, Ghouls Night Out, 4-pack Claudine. I told myself at the end of the summer of 2013 that I needed to stop buying Monster High dolls all the time because it was getting out of hand, and then this pack showed up at Walmart, and that was my exception.
And I was like, oh, it's a good deal, because they're all together in the box, it's cheaper.
Yeah, and I really wanted Rochelle, so it worked out. Then we have Scarus Claudian. I got her on sale at Kmart quite a ways after, I think a year after I got my original Scarus dolls. She was like $9. Kmart used to run a lot of like $9 sales. Casper Clawdeen, who I got from the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. She was on sale, and she's my favorite from the set. I think she's beautiful. I love the glitter. I love her outfit the best. She's drop dead gorgeous. Then Ghouls Rule Claudine is kind of funny looking, but I always was intrigued by her because she has this awesome side cut on, like, it's more like a faux hawk, I guess, with really long hair. I got her at the Salvation Army with my High Heart Fashion Abby, and this is not her outfit. She was naked, and I felt really bad for this doll. She was missing a hand, if I'm not mistaken, and she also was missing some flocking. She's in a transformation video. Woo. This Power Ghouls, Claudine, I got her at Target when we had sold that scrap metal. She was one of the dolls I splurged on, and I just really loved her costume. I wasn't as into the superhero theme, but she was my favorite, and I apologize for her bangs. They got kind of smushed in storage, so she was always a favorite. Frights Camera Action Black Carpet Claudine was one of my older secondhand Monster High dolls. I got her from this elderly couple at the local flea market. Freaky Field Trip Claudine. I got her with Ghouls Rule over here, and again, she doesn't have her outfit, but I knew I didn't have this doll, but I wasn't sure who she was when I bought her, and I love the Freaky Field Trip line, so I was really excited to have her. Emoji Claudeen, I got her from the Salvation Army, but this year, so she was not in my last video. She was complete, and she's one of the reboot dolls. She has like the stiff body, but I love the way they styled styled Claudine, and I also like how the reboot dolls have kind of wider eyes. So this is Shriek Wrecked Claudine. I got her on sale at Toys R Us. So she wasn't in my last video either, and I like this line because they remind me of Treasure's Brats, but like the Monster High version. This is first edition Cleo. She was one of my first secondhand Monster High dolls as well. I loved Cleo and Deuce set. Before I even collected Monster High, I loved the idea of the Egyptian mummy girl, and I was very tempted to buy the set, and I used to stalk them online without telling anyone I was doing it.
We got her Monster High lady, and she was missing the blue overshirt, but we already had it from the Laguna bins.
Yes, and she also had a haircut, so we managed to get her for like a little bit cheaper because she had her haircut. So School's Out Cleo, one of my favorites, one of like my grail dolls for a long time. I actually got her from Monster High Lady 2 years later in 2016, so I got quite a few of my dolls in my collection. Skull Shores Cleo, I got her in the pack at Target on sale. She has very uncooperative bangs, so I trained them to just sit that way because they just weren't having it, even when she was brand new. She's really unique. I think her gold lipstick is her, like, coolest feature, but it also makes her kind of strange looking. Then we have Scarus Cleo. She was my very first Cleo doll. I knew I wanted to have a Cleo doll early on. She was one of the characters I was most excited about collecting, but I wanted to get, like, the perfect one, and at the time, I thought she was the prettiest one in stores, so we made a special trip to Toys R Us just for this set. Speaking of Toys R Us, as we mentioned when we were talking about Abby, for my birthday in 2013, I wanted these classroom dolls, and when Colleen finally found out that they had a set of these at a Toys R Us, I remember the employee she was talking to said, "Oh, we only have the Cleo and Ghoulia set." You know, everyone at the time just wanted the Heath set for Heath to sell online for triple the price.
Right, so when I said, "But you have Ghoulia and Cleo?" She's like, "We just have them with the girls," and she sounded like she knew I was going to be way disappointed. I'm like, "Wait, you have the Ghoulia and Cleo set? Can you set it aside for me? I'll be there, like, in an hour, like, please." And she was surprised.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite Cleos for that reason. And Picture Day Cleo was one that I wanted for a really long time, and I almost bought her for full price many times on many occasions, but I waited like a good girl and got her on sale for like $9.
Yeah, I wanted to say she got $9.
Yeah, I love her like bluey purple lips. And then we have Rules Rule Cleo. She was in my last video. I got her at the Salvation Army. She was one of the first Monster High dolls I got there, and I actually had to give her some hands. I already happen to have Cleo hands because I hoard parts, but I love how unique she is with like the short hair and the like, you know, pointy bangs, and obviously she doesn't have her outfit. Then we have my Boo York Comet Crossed couple. I really wanted the Deuce in this set because he kind of looks like Dawn of the Dance, but I also was really interested in this Cleo, and I ended up waiting, and I got them on sale in 2016, and she has this really cool like blue hair, which none of my other dolls have. They mostly have like the teal or the purple. And then we have the Dead Tired reissue. So her and actually Gloom Beach were both dated 2015, but they are identical to the original releases of the dolls with the exception of the hips. They have plastic hips, not strung hips, which is better. So I recommend going for that instead. I always wanted Dead Tired Cleo, so when I found out they were remaking the line, I didn't think they would include Cleo because usually it's just like Frankie and Draculaura and Claudine, but they had her. I was so excited, and I bought her at Walmart the same day Colleen got one of her first like newer Stacy dolls brand new.
Yep, who I named Clara.
And so every time I look at Cleo, I kind of think of calling Stacy, and it kind of made me feel like a kid. Like, we each went to the store, and of course, I went for the weird, debatably ugly doll. Colleen went for the Stacy. Then we have Gloom Beach Cleo, who I really thought about buying at the store a bunch of times, but my Walmart didn't really have as many Cleos. I got her in 2017, boxed at the flea market for like $9, I think.
Yeah.
And that was really exciting because she was like brand new, but like getting her on sale, and I'm not sorry that I waited. Then we have my Deuces. Deuce is my favorite Monster High character. He's the reason I got into collecting. So this is first edition Deuce. He just missed my original video. I got him at the Salvation Army, and he was actually missing an arm. So he has one of the like newer style arms with like the articulated wrist on that side, because I had to buy him a set of arms. and he's pretty much the same as Scarus Deuce minus those arms. And the funny thing about him is that when I bought him, he didn't have his little vest, but I already had his vest and his shoes from like other lots I had purchased, so it was really meant to be, and he was one of my holy grail dolls, and now
he's kind of the real reason I wanted to film this video, because when I realized that him and Avia Trotter weren't in our last video, I'm like, okay, they're family. If they're not in the video, it's time to change.
I know. Then we have my two Donna the Dance Deuce dolls. Now I had this guy in the original video, but he now has a doppelganger, and let me explain. So he is my favorite Monster High doll that was ever made. I have a thing about guy dolls with mohawks, and the fact that he has like this little like parted mohawk, and he wears this darling like dressed up outfit, my heart, I can't help myself. So I used to want him so bad, like I stalked him so many times on eBay, but he was like hundreds of dollars. So I got him in 2016 with Ghouls Out Cleo and a bunch of other Monster High dolls from Monster High Lady. He was like $5, and I like him so much that when he turned up at the flea market last year in 2018, this elderly couple that I got my Frights Camera Action Claudine from, they had him, and they also had a first edition Deuce who I thought about going back and getting, but the reason why I got him for like $4 is because, well, A, he has his earring and he had his sunglasses, which this guy was missing, and B, this is my favorite Monster High doll, and God forbid anything happened to him, it wouldn't be as easy as just like going on eBay and getting him, because he's still one of the like slightly harder ones to get.
First edition Deuce, we have a lot of like extra clothing pieces, so
yeah, he's really common. Then we have my 3 Scarus Deuces. Yes, I know, this is absolutely ridiculous. So this is Kmart Deuce, eBay Deuce, and Walmart Deuce. When I wanted to get into collecting Monster High, my dream doll was Donna the Dance, but he wasn't in stores, so I decided I would settle for the Deuce doll that was out at the time. And that was one of the reasons why I chose to start collecting at the time, because Deuce had come back. Now, I thought, oh, he's budget, he's slim box, and he's not like in some fancy outfit, he'll probably be easy to get. But everyone was scalping these dolls, and that means that people buy things at the store and then resell them for like triple the price, and they buy like an entire stock. They would go and they would buy whole cartons of them from the stores.
Oh, yeah,
and sell them on eBay for hundreds of dollars, which it's not fair if you're doing that. If you buy one doll on sale and you resell it, that's different than scalping. So I ordered eBay Deuce for $30 on Easter of 2013, which Colleen told me not to do, but he was the cheapest one.
I said, Shelly, when this fad dies down, he's going to be popping up in stores. These things are mass-produced. It's like the Beanie Babies.
But I was impatient. I didn't listen. I bought into that whole everything is rare hype, because that's how all collectors were at the time. I was waiting for him to come in the mail. Deuce over here showed up at Kmart, and I remember I walked into the toy aisle, and there he was hanging all by himself, and I was like, oh. So we decided to get him in case there was a problem with this guy not showing up in the mail or something.
Yeah, because let's face it, she wanted to.
I did. So
we got him and Scarce Ghoulia the same day.
Yes, he is my favorite of my Deuce dolls, like sentimentally. I'm pretty sure I have them right. They're kind of difficult to tell apart, but yes. And then I have Walmart Deuce because several months later he showed up at our regular Walmart.
We had this running joke that if one popped up at our regular Walmart, we would not be able to resist the temptation and we would buy him, and that's sure enough.
My Manster Deuce, I was really excited when they came out with him and Gil in a pack, but I convinced myself to wait, and he was, this was the first set of dolls I believe I got in 2015, so right after I started my Flickr, and I remember we were out somewhere running an errand, we stopped in at Toys R Us, they were running a sale on these for like, I want to say $15?
Yeah.
Something like that, it probably says on my Flickr, and I bought him and Gil, and he's absolutely amazing. He's like literally the same doll as the others, but hey. Then the reason I wanted the Boo York set, as I said earlier, is because he has the same like laid down beautiful mohawk. I got them on sale at Walmart, and I love his little like sweater.
And we bought the Bratz Music Festival dolls on sale at Walmart the same like weekend, so we were really bad.
He has like this weird shimmery skin, which is really interesting, but I think he looks more Scarisian than Scarus Deuce. I can't remember if Dance the Fright Away Deuce was in the last video, but of course when I found out they were bringing him back for the reboot, I was like, yes, I want Deuce. And they gave him my favorite mohawk. But I really didn't like his outfit, or I would have bought him for full price. But when he went on sale, I think for like $7 at Walmart, that's when I pounced. I don't really like the new facial screening on Deuce, because I was going to date a Monster High doll.
Well, I feel like most of the characters, the reboot almost made them cutesier.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, this new Deuce actually looks kind of sinister.
Yeah. I just don't like his outfit a whole lot either. It's really basic. It's kind of something Ken would wear, not Deuce. But I'm really glad to have him, and that's no shade to him. Like, I'm glad I bought him. Dead, Tired Draculaura. Now, she's not actually the original one. She is the Kohl's exclusive that was released with Jewelry Box Coffin in 2013. And I didn't know that they were going to come out with those like cheap single re-release dolls later on. So I stocked these until they went on sale. They were originally $50. And then I ended up getting her for $30 around Christmas time that year. So much for behaving with my spending. But there are some differences between her and the originals. Like, they're not wearing their shoes right now because they fall off. But she has black slippers and also had ear piercings without any earrings, and the Jewelry Box Coffin has some slightly different packaging, like accessories, so you can read up on my Flickr if you want to know, because you can't tell them apart. Then you have the lovely Schools Out Draculaura. Now, I got her, like Donna the Dance Deuce and all those others, from Monster High Lady at the flea market. I had seen her a few weeks before from a different seller, like in the wrong outfit for like more money, and I almost bought her because I knew who she was, but I talked myself out of it, and I'm really glad I did, because why pay more for a scruffy one? She's one of my favorites. She's really goofy looking, but I love her. Then Gloom Beach Draculaura I got her for $1 naked, but I recognized her right away, and I actually mated her with this swimsuit. I got it in a lot on eBay, and I've actually gotten it in the wild too at the flea market, so I have a few of these. She's one of my favorites just because she was naked and unwanted. Then we have Sweet 1600 Draculaura. She was the one I most wanted of the set just because I'm such a Draculaura buff, but she wasn't at Barnes & Noble when I got Claudine and Frankie on sale, so I ended up thinking of getting this doll brand new at full price, but I was good and I waited, and I got her in 2016 with like this Draculaura and stuff from Monster High Lady. She doesn't have all of her extra fixins, but that's okay. Then we have my two Skull Shores Draculauras. So I got her separately at Barnes & Noble right around the time I started collecting. I just loved the Skull Shores line. I'm a sucker for beach lines. She is stunningly beautiful, and you can see that the pack doll is way different looking. That's because she's made in Indonesia and she's made in China. I just got her in the pack at Target on sale, but I love them both, and though like she's hot and she's not, I'm just as fond of the two of them. And this is my very first Monster High doll ever. I got Swim Class Venus, Swim Class Draculaura, and Swim Class Laguna together. They were at this store called Benny's, and I had been hoping to find Scarus Deuce first, but he wasn't at stores at the time. We kept looking everywhere for him, and then finally I said, you know, there's this beach Laguna doll that keeps catching my eye at certain places. So we went back to get her at Benny's, and then I decided, because they were on some kind of sale for like $2 or $3 off, that I would get Draculaura, and then somehow Venus ended up at the register too, and she's actually probably my favorite Draculaura in my collection. I love her, and what's really special about her is she's the very first Monster High doll that I ever opened, and I remember that was really a big moment for me because I was really impressed by like the quality of her, and the second I handed her over to Colleen, it was like pure magic, so she's the reason I'm so into Monster High. And I also like how the Draculauras have like a lot of pink and black in their hair, like Jade dolls from the same time.
I want to say that when we first got into Monster High, like, Shelly had been tempted by them for a long time, but I'd been like, no, they're not doing it for me. But then one day we were at, I want to say it was Big Lots, and there was some Scarce things on sale, and I was like, you know, these are actually nice, affordable dolls, because the sale speaks to me. And now I was like, Shelly, you don't have to wait just for the Deuce doll. Like, let's get some and see how you like them, and maybe if we have to end up ordering Deuce special, we will.
I don't think she expected this to happen.
Actually, I kind of did.
Yeah, this is my greatest obsession. So, then we have Dead Tired Draculaura, the 2012 version. Like I said, I got her with Abby and Claudine on sale. Now, she's actually really pretty when her bangs are moved out of the way. She has a really beautiful facial screening, so I actually think I like her more than Abby now. Now, this is one of my favorites in my whole collection, probably second to Donna the Dance Deuce. This is first edition re-release. Draculaura. As I mentioned, I got her and Frankie from Walmart's website when they first came out, and she is my favorite, like, girl Monster High doll they ever made. There's just something really iconic about her, which is weird because pink isn't usually, like, the color I go for, but I just love her 2 ponytails. I love her outfit. I love her bat.
She reminds you of Breath Jade.
Yes, Snowbite. I got her with Little Dead, as I mentioned earlier, and I love her green makeup and dark, like, blackish lips. I think she is very exquisite. I like her even more than Little Dead in terms of, like, her outfit. But
And like Snow White.
Yeah, and I'm into Snow White.
Crazy person.
So what's not to love? Scarus Draculaura was one I actually never planned to buy. Sorry about her bangs. But when she was the only, like, Scarus doll I didn't have at the time, literally, out of all the different sets they made. And so, of course, I was kind of like, well, she's on sale, she's $7, she's here, why not? And I'm really glad I did because I find her very enchanting, and I made her this little hair flip. Then we have Hunt the Casper Draculaura. She was not at Barnes & Noble.
And unlike Sweet 1600 Dracky, she didn't have the patience to wait.
No, I went to Kmart and bought her, like, the following weekend for full price. And I have no regrets about it. She's actually not the prettiest one, but I like that she's kind of goofy. Then we have Freaky Fusion Save Frankie Draculaura. I got her at Savers after an eye doctor's appointment. I don't remember if she was in my last video. She might have been. Was missing an arm, I think, when we bought her, which we didn't realize when we bought her. Tyria Draculaura. I hoped she was art class Draculaura when I saw her naked at the Salvation Army. Because see how they both have yellow eyeshadow? But I was like, no, art class Draculaura has big banana bangs. That's not her. So I decided that I wasn't going to get her, but then...
I think, wasn't she missing a limb?
Yeah, something like that. She was in a transformation video. But then when I went back like a week later and I was buying Coffin Bean Claudine, I just couldn't leave her. So she doesn't have her outfit. And then I did get my art class Draculaura with my Frights Camera Action Draculaura here from the limbless lot. She had all her limbs. Turns out she had an Operetta limb snuck in there. But luckily I had plenty of spare Draculaura parts, so it all worked out. Remember?
Yeah, didn't we realize that art class Dracky, like after we'd already ordered parts, had like 2 of the same hand?
Yeah.
And then we had to steal some from a body we had downstairs.
It was really annoying. But I love them both, and I really wanted art class Draculaura since the line came out because I love the yellow in her hair, and I really liked the stuff she came with. So she was a doll I had thought about getting in the store many times. Then we're on to my reboot Draculauras. This is Party Hair. She was my first reboot doll. And I'm a sucker for dolls with hair gimmicks, and there was something about this doll that kept calling my name. So when she went on sale for like $9, that's when I bought her. The Sculptment Art Class Draculaura. I bought her purely because she was on sale. We were out at a different Walmart one day, and they had her like stuffed in the back of the clearance section for $5, and how can you say no for $5?
When she came with all that like cool stuff that I play with all the time, so.
Yes, and then this is my Vampire Kitchen Monster Family Draculaura. I got her for my birthday last year in 2018. Colleen knew how much I wanted this set when it came out. I love doll kitchens. It's my favorite kind of play set. And when I found out they were making Dracula, the daddy of Draculaura, of course I was like really, really excited. I love family packs too. But it was $45 and I just could not justify it. And they only carried it at like a Kmart and Toys R Us. And neither places are ones I'm at often. So I decided that was kind of a pipe dream, and I didn't even know when Colleen picked these dolls out as a surprise with my friend Beth for my birthday.
I kind of had my heart set on it from the beginning. I was like, I'm going to see if Beth will go with me. We lied and told Shelly we were going out to a restaurant, and we knew she wouldn't want to go. We did go to the restaurant, but then after we went to Kmart, and I was actually hoping to get this exact set, and we did. We both paid for it together, and they're adorable, and we get, as you know, way too much use out of them.
My heart like leapt out of my chest when I opened them. It was really special to get this set for my birthday because I don't really celebrate my birthday, so it was really nice. And then we have my LED dolls. You know, it's supposed to be like LED. So I got her on sale for I think $6, $4 at Walmart. I got a bunch of Freak Do Chic and Boo York dolls together for like that price range, $4 to $6, one morning at Walmart, and I just decided I was gonna buy as mini as I could on sale. And I actually had this girl first, and I liked her so much that's why I decided to buy this one. But I got her at the flea market for $1 in the summer of 2016. This guy had a bunch of scruffy dolls, and we really wanted to buy the whole bin, but so many of them were missing limbs and stuff.
And clothes.
And so
I was looking, and there was this little girl there looking, and for a minute she was holding her, and I'm thinking, put down the doll, put down the doll, put down the doll.
But she did put down the doll.
And it's funny because before that moment, neither of us expressed any interest whatsoever in LED. In fact, she was, like, this doll was the reason we weren't interested, like, as interested as we could have been in the City Ghouls 3-pack. Because we just thought she was too weird.
I call her Ellie, and then this is her twinnie here. I got this set brand new because I really wanted Mercedes, and Colleen was at a work thing one night, and
I was doing CPR training.
Yeah, I was at Walmart killing time before I picked her up, and I found this set for $7.50, and I had been stalking it and hoping it would go on sale, so I just have the doppelganger. This is first edition Frankie, and then this is the 2012 re-release. We talked about where she came from. Got her with Draculaura on Walmart's website, but I got her in the Laguna bin with Gloom Beach Claudine. And I already had my re-release at the time, but I love variations. Like, I was very curious to see how they differed. You can see that she has, like, the smaller, squintier eyes, and she's got the big, goofy eyes. I love both. I don't really have a preference. It kind of depends on my mood. And one of my first secondhand monster
I would say she was the lucky one of that bin, too, because Laguna and Claudine were trash.
She was really complete, too. Then we have my Dawn of the Dance Frankie. I got her, Gloom Beach Frankie, and Dead Tired Frankie, all from Monster High Lady with my first Dawn of the Dance Deuce. They were all dolls I really wanted. Very iconic lines, obviously. The funny thing is, though, I got Dead Tired Frankie on a different day. I don't know if we missed her in the bag or if we just didn't have a lot of money, so we left her behind. But when we went to double check her dolls a final time, we found this Frankie, and we had been thinking of buying the re-release at Walmart, so it worked out. And poor Gloom Beach Frankie is missing some paint. Pulls Out Frankie, I got the same day as these two, but she was from a different seller. She was from the elderly couple that I've mentioned before. I get a lot of Monster High dolls from them, and she was a really awesome find. I love her little Argyle sweater. Home Ick Frankie. I really loved this line. Ghoulia was always my favorite, but I wanted to have the whole set, but they were actually out of stores when I got into collecting. But then one day at Walmart, it was right after Black Friday, we were there and we saw Laguna and Frankie just out randomly. They weren't on sale, but I bought them anyways.
It felt like a miracle.
And my Frankie and Laguna are the later releases that didn't have the lockers.
They were like put out for Black Friday.
Yeah, and that's probably how I came upon them. Then we have my two Skull Shores Frankies. So the Pack Lady is the color version, and the separately sold is the black and white. Now, I had Color Frankie first. We talked about her. I got her on sale in the pack. But I really wanted to have the black and white version too, and I especially felt bad because a lot of people bought these dolls just to customize, and I don't know, I felt pity on her. So I found her at TJ Maxx one day, and I remember I looked over, saw her on the shelf, and I literally walked with my arms out towards her in zombie mode because I wanted her so much. Then Sweet 1600 Frankie, I got her with Claudine at Barnes & Noble on sale. Like I said earlier, she's really darling.
What's interesting is I actually tried to talk Shelly into buying one of these Frankies from our local Walmart. At the very beginning, this could have been our first Frankie.
We went there and almost bought her.
Several times.
So I'm surprised it took us so long to get her. Then we have my two roller Mais Frankies. This is my first one. She was my first Frankie, actually.
Yeah.
I got her at Target that night. We had sold some scrap metal. Yeah, I bought a lot. She's still one of my favorites because I love how unique she is with like the neon makeup. And I ended up with the doppelganger over here because I wanted to buy a Skull Shores Laguna from Dollar Lady at the flea market.
It was the last time we saw Dollar Lady, which is like tragic.
I know. And she was wearing parts of Laguna's outfit, and I guess I could have asked to like switch them around, but I kind of wanted the Frankie. So I ended up buying her too, and I can tell them apart because she's got a little chip on her lip. Then we have my Scarce Frankie. I actually didn't care for her much, or Claudine, when I was originally buying the line, but when she was on sale for $9 at Kmart with Claudine, I bought her, and I actually really like her, and she's kind of one of my favorites from the set now. Speaking of favorites, I never expected to like Power Ghouls Frankie as much as I did. I really wanted the Toralei from her wave when they came out, but I found her on sale at Target one day for like, I don't know, $11, and I thought she was the bomb.com in person, so I bought her, and I actually like her just as much as Toralei. Then we have Picture Day Frankie. We thought about buying her a lot in the store because she's really unique.
Many times.
And I love the school-themed lines. But I actually got her last summer, or the summer of 2017, for like $1 with one of my Malady dolls at the flea market. Actually recently saw an even nicer one. Then we have Ghouls Rule Frankie. She was one of my first second-hand dolls. She was the first one I believe I got from Monster High Lady. She was in her box with all her fixins, but she had been played with. And I never paid her any mind in the stores, but she's actually really cool. And then we have Haunt the Casper Frankie. Got her on sale at Barnes & Noble. Love her gold makeup. And Freak du Chic Frankie. Got her on sale with Ellie, Edie, and my other Freak du Chic and Boo York dolls for $4. And I love their special, like, carnival makeup. Frightfully Tall. I have a thing about, like, the taller Monster High dolls. I'm not usually into larger scale dolls, but I really, really wanted one of these. And I would have picked Draculaura, of course, but when I saw Frankie on sale at Kmart for, I want to say, like, $9 in the summer of 2017, I was like, we need her. And she's a lot of fun to use in photos. First edition Ghoulia Yelps. She was one of my grail dolls. From the moment I got into collecting, I stalked her on eBay. I hoped to find her all the time secondhand. And I told myself at the beginning of this year, I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna find her. And opening day at the flea market 2019, the elderly couple we get a lot of dolls from had her like pretty much pristine with the wrong shoes. And my heart just leapt out of my chest. She was like one of my favorite finds this year, for sure. Probably out of all the flea market years. Yeah, she's everything I wanted her to be and so much more. Then we have Dead Tired and Go Team Ghoulia. I got them together from Monster High Lady in that group. I think I got them in like 3 different trips.
Yeah, so it wasn't literally the same day, some of them, but it was like 2 different trips, and then Frankie was a weird loner. So.
Yes. And she's the only one from this wave, the set I have. Then we have my 2 physical Deducation Ghoulias. She was one of the dolls that we liked before we even admitted we liked Monster High. And I remember this seller that used to set up many years ago had a second-hand one of these that I was so tempted to buy, and so was Colleen. And we used to see her in stores all the time. So when I got into collecting, I really wanted to have one. So I found her at Target's website. And I was able to buy her brand new. And sometime later I had a friend give me this doll. She was used and they didn't want
What
her.
interests me is that the Ghoulia that we've had longer was not one of the ones that was like stripped down. She had her locker and everything, but her hips are like plastic as opposed to strong. So that to me says that they released many, many batches of them.
Yes.
But I have to say, we've had this Ghoulia forever, and something about her, I still get wicked, like, jolly every time I see her.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite Ghoulia in my collection.
I just love her. Besides the Holy Grail.
So then we have my 2 Skull Shores Ghoulias. So she was my first Ghoulia doll and my 4th Monster High in my collection. We got her at Kmart. Knew we wanted a Ghoulia because we liked her so much. And she was from a beach line, so why not? And we call her Ghoulia Cabot because she kind of reminds us of this character on Law & Order.
When we had her in a fashion pack with these glasses on, it was really
Yeah,
cute.
a lot of my Ghoulia dolls have like surnames. And then this is my Pack Lady. And they look quite a bit different. She has a lot more glitter and like fuller bangs. And then we have my 2 Skulltimate Roller Mais. So I got her at Barnes & Noble on sale, Barnes & Noble Bonanza. And literally a few weeks before, Monster High Lady had this doll. But she was in really bad shape and she wanted like $5 for her or $6. So I'm glad I waited because I got her brand new for pretty much that price. And then this lady was from the limbless lot. So even though I didn't need her and I wasn't going to buy her separately, when the man said we could have all of them because they were missing limbs, of course I took her. And she actually needed hands. So she was a mooch. And I crimped her hair. Gloom Beach gift set, Ghoulia. You could only get her in the gift set. And I got her from Monster High Lady, you know, around that same time frame. She's awesome. She's actually my favorite from that pack, just because, I don't know, something about her, like, red makeup. Scarus Ghoulia, who calling said we got her at Kmart the day I got my first Scarus Deuce. She's one of my favorites from
I love that hoodie.
this line, yeah, because this like hoodie dress is so up my alley, and I just love how beautiful she is. I wouldn't say Ghoulia is usually a pretty character, but she is beautiful. And then, of course, this is my Mad Science Pack doll, who I got with Cleo. Calling went through all that trouble for me. And then we have Ghoulia Jepson, as we call her, who is actually the Ghouls Night Out doll. And she's really goofy. She's really wonky, guys. And then we have my 2 Gigi Grants. I wanted 13 Wishes Gigi, and I should have bought her one time at Barnes & Noble, but she wasn't on sale. She was like $20, and I just couldn't bring myself to buy her. So I waited and waited, and finally I got a Gigi, but I actually got 2. They're from this local charity store that actually it's merged now with another one that's not as good. But I got Freaky Field Trip and then like basic Gigi together. I love this outfit, and I actually had forgotten they made a Freaky Field Trip Gigi. She's my favorite. And then basic Gigi I'm intrigued by because this is kind of like one of the hybrid dolls. So she was one of the first like reboot combined with the old school Monster High when they started out doing this body mold. Manster's Gil, I got him on sale with Deuce, obviously. He was my first Gil doll, and I always wanted Gil, but I couldn't bring myself to buy the dance class guy in that big pack, even though I wanted to. So he was the first one I was able to buy, like, in stores.
I wish I talked her into it instead of out of it.
Yeah, I know. I was out of control. And then we have my Shriek Wrecked Gil, who I got on sale at Toys R Us with Claudine for $7. And they look really very similar, but he's kind of more bluey in tone, whereas he's got more of a green tone. And he has a like slightly sweeter face.
I also feel like his face like has more like stand out on him for some reason.
Yeah, I actually prefer his face. And then we have Werewolf Sister Pack Howleen, who I obviously got with Claudine. And I love how she has the orange and yellow hair, of course I would. And I love her little hoodie. She's my favorite Howleen they made because I just love the way they styled her. But my first Howleen was actually dance class because I didn't know that they would stock these later at Target. So I bought her that night. We got all of those dolls at Target from selling scrap metal. 13 Wishes, Howleen. She's one of my favorites from this set. And I actually got her the day I got this pack at Toys R Us. It was like on my birthday, so when I saw Howleen there, they had just hit shelves. I treated myself. I did that a lot. Then we have Genifire, Scarce Genifire, or as it's properly pronounced, Ginafire, but we call her Gina. I ordered her off Target's website.
Yes, with Ghoulia.
My Fizz Dead Ghoulia because I wanted her, but I couldn't find her at stores at the time, but of course she showed up later. I love her. She's my favorite Genifire in my collection, and I love her soft hands. Scaremaster Gina, I got her from that elderly couple, I want to say in 2017. She was really nice, and I always wanted this doll when they came out, but I was trying to be better about buying them, so I didn't manage to get her on sale. And then I did get Freak Deuce Chic Gina. She was my second Gina, on sale for $4 at Walmart. Excuse the headband. Her bangs are bad. This is first edition Laguna. She was one of the ones I wanted most of all when I started collecting, and then that fall in 2013, we got her in that lot of scruffy Barbies for $10 with Gloom Beach Claudine and first edition Frankie, and she's one of my most spoiled Monster High dolls. She has had many pairs of earrings made. I made her a necklace at some point. I love her, and she like cannot sit to save her life. She's wicked loose and limp, and she has like chips in her paint. But I adore her. She is one of my most treasured dolls. But before we had her, School's Out Laguna kind of filled in for her, and I found her at Barnes & Noble. She was like my second Laguna doll, if I'm not mistaken.
One of your earliest, yeah.
Yeah, and we both were really infatuated with her. She wasn't on any kind of sale, but I got so much use out of this doll. Mad Science Laguna, who I got with Frankie at Walmart. I like her a lot. We get a lot of use out of her stuff. I got Dot Dead Laguna at Target that night. We sold scrap metal. Moving on.
I'm sure there's more.
Then we have Skull Shores Laguna. Like I said, I got her from Dollar Lady at the flea market. She was actually $3. And I bought that other Frankie just so she could have this outfit. And I actually replaced one of her hands because she had like white happening on her little peg, and I was afraid it was going to break off, so she's kind of spoiled. Then we have my beautiful Scarus Laguna. She was my second Laguna. I'm sorry, correct me. I got her and Cleo not long after I started collecting, and I kind of just got her in the pack, but a lot of people were selling her on eBay. And once I had the pack, I didn't understand because I was like, she's just as cool as Cleo. I like her just as much. I love this little thing in her hair. How could you not? And then this was my first Monster High doll, the one who started it all, Swim Class Laguna. Need I say more? I saw her everywhere that day we decided we were going to get Monster High dolls. I should say we stopped at an antique store later that day and we got some Disney dolls I had been wanting forever, and I was so enchanted by the Monster High dolls. I was like, Disney who? Picture Day Laguna was one that I was really excited for before she came out. When we saw her in stores, I just could not resist myself, although I was supposed to be on a Monster High diet. I bought her for full price.
Another one for the Target scrap metal incident.
Yep, we're moving on. That's Roller Mais Laguna. I love the green in her hair and the yellow makeup.
She is beautiful.
And then,
very unique, very 80s style.
This 13 Wishes Laguna is just the stupidest thing ever. But I had wanted her for so long because we wanted Neptuna, because we didn't get Neptuna with my first edition. So we were at Barnes & Noble. Colleen was getting a book. I saw that she was on sale for like $9, and I was like, I'm just gonna get Laguna. And then when Colleen saw that they were on a really good sale, we ended up buying a bunch of them.
That's the Bonanza.
Yeah, the Bonanza. Speaking of the Bonanza, she was part of the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. Ghouls Night Out Laguna. She's really pretty. I love her goofy dolphin earrings. And then we have my 2 dance class Lagunas. So I actually got this scruffy lady first at the Salvation Army this year. She was wearing a fashion pack, and I knew I didn't have her, and I knew she was like one of those basic dolls I really used to like. And it makes sense because I thought about buying Dance Class Laguna 1,000 times in the store, but I just wasn't as into like the dance theme. Bought her, put her in a fashion pack, and then opening week of the flea market this year, that elderly couple had Dance Class Laguna, but we bought so much that we decided if they had her the following weekend, we'd go back and buy her, and they did, and we were really glad to have like a really nice one because this one's in bad shape.
Monster Exchange.
Monster Exchange Laguna. It was from the limbless lot. She was actually not limbless. She was the first doll I saw on the table besides Costa Fierce, who you'll see later, and I was so excited because I love her like curly afro. It's amazing.
But another girl was there and almost bought her, but then she noticed she didn't have hands. And then later we found Laguna's hands in the pile of clothes that we'd like salvaged.
Yeah, because he gave us all the extras and her hands were in that. So she did have her hands, she just wasn't wearing them, which is how we ended up buying her.
Yay!
And then we have Emoji Laguna, who I got at the Salvation Army. Kind of funny. I got my Emoji Clawdeen too. And she was in worse shape than Claudine. Like you can see, she didn't have her earrings. And her hair is nylon, so it kind of sticks up, and I crimped it, which didn't really help. But I love her. We have my 2 Luna Matthews dolls. So this is City Ghouls, and this is a separately sold
Galaghoul Friends.
Galaghoul Friends. I got her in that pack, obviously, with Mouseides and my other Ellie on sale at Walmart. But I wasn't able to find this doll when I got a bunch of my other Boo Yorks, and she was the only Galaghoul Friends I was missing, and I was kind of bummed out because, you know, she's adorable and I really liked this one. And I found her at the Salvation Army for $1 not long after, and it was wonderful. She doesn't have her shoes, but this is the Werecat Sister Pack Malady. I got her and her sister Persephone at Toys R Us. And the funny thing is, the day I went to get my Scarus pack, I saw the original Werecats and I almost bought them. But then I told myself, you know, you might not like them. So instead, I decided to get the sampler pack, the Go Team one. This is Go Team Malady. I got her that day with Persephone and Toralei because I really wanted Toralei, and I liked them so much that even though they're the same dolls as the original Werecat sister packs, I had a coupon for Toys R Us. I went to a different Toys R Us and I bought her and her sister. It was like 20% off, so
we love them.
Yes, I like them all so much. And then this is a duplicated Go Team Malady, excuse her bangs. I got her at the Salvation Army this year because her hair was pink. Someone colored it, and I felt so bad for her, and I knew no one's gonna buy her. She looks really janky, and I can save her, and I don't need her, but I can afford to clothe her, and she's not missing any limbs. She's not too much of a mooch, so I bought her. And her hair actually cleaned up really easily. I just soaked her in some OxyClean. And then we have my beloved Zombie Shake Malady. I got her for $1 with Picture Day Frankie. I really wanted this pack when it was in stores, and I had to keep telling myself not to buy it. I don't have Persephone, sadly, at this time, but so this is the second part because I couldn't fit all of my dolls out the first time. So I have my 2 Mouseides, Galaghoul Friends, and City Ghouls. Now, she's one of my favorite Monster High characters, and that's because my mom loved mice. So when I first saw Mousadis in stores at the local Walmart, I just fell in love with her because I knew how much my mom would have loved Mousadis if she had been alive when this doll was made. So I made it a point to kind of stalk the Boo York dolls to see if they went on sale. And I remember the day we found all my other like Freak Do Chic and Boo York dolls on sale, we kept looking everywhere in the clearance section for this Mousadis, and she wasn't there. And then finally Colleen found her. She was, I believe, $6, and she's like, "Look who I found!" And I was so excited because if I could have only gotten one doll, I would have wanted her, and I was really, really, really excited. And then the City Ghouls one, however, is the version I wanted even more because I like her cute little outfit and her like non-shiny skin. She kind of reminds me of this welcome sign my mom used to have with 2 mice outside our front door, like when we were little girls. So I was very nostalgic for this particular Mousadis, and I did see one at the flea market for $1, but she was naked, and I thought the better of buying her that summer because I knew, oh, I might still be able to get her on sale. And like I said before, I ended up finding this set for $7.50, and it was one of the best Monster High scores ever. I was so excited. Definitely one of my favorite finds of all time, and definitely one of my favorite Monster High dolls in my collection.
And you call her that one Joya?
Yes, this one's Joya because my mom's name was Joy. And then we have first edition Operetta. I actually got her on eBay during the summer of 2013 as like a birthday gift to myself. It was $30 boxed on eBay, and I originally didn't really care for Operetta as a character, but after some time I warmed up to her and I really wanted this edition because I love her outfit. And I remember the seller, after we bought her, was all, do you mind if we ship it in like 2 weeks, which was kind of shady seeming. And Colleen,
so I said, oh, well, it's a birthday gift for my sister, so yeah. I need it before then. And
I was turning 22 that year, so
I was like, oh, it's a birthday gift for my little sister. I wasn't lying. She was my little sister.
Then this is Dead Operetta. I did her hair differently since the last video. Now, I got her for $1 from the people that had the Mousadis I left behind. Now, I remember when we bought her, we originally purchased her under the pretense of she has all her limbs in her outfit. I was horrified when I found out that she had Draculaura arms instead, but luckily we had bought a body donor Draculaura that had her arms, so it all worked out. We didn't have to like buy any parts for her. She's really adorable. I saw them a lot in stores when I first started collecting. This is my favorite Operetta though. This is Picture Day. I really, really, really wanted her, and she was not as easy to find in stores as the other 2 dolls in her set. So I remember it was the day I got my first edition re-release Claudine on Target's website. They also had her, so I ordered her too. And then we have Dance Class Operetta. She was the only one of my operettas not in the last video. I got her this summer in 2019 on opening day at the flea market. She was being sold by that elderly couple I've got a lot of dolls from. And I always liked the Dance Class dolls, just never managed to get around to buying them separately. I think in part because I planned to get the gift set, which never happened. And then we have Roller Maze Operetta, who I got from Monster High Lady in 2014, I want to say.
She was one of the earliest dolls we bought from her, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember it was really funny because like the week before I had thought about how much I wanted her because she was one of the few Roller Maze dolls I didn't have, and then she turned up at the flea market. Then we have Persephone. This is the Werecat Sister Pack Persephone. Like I said, I got this set at Toys R Us with a coupon, and I actually always preferred Persephone in terms of like aesthetics to Malady because she's the better looking doll. But I will say that Malady's kind of ugliness has warmed away into my heart. And then obviously this is Goatee Persephone, who I got with my first Toralei and Malady dolls. And she was my first Persephone. Then we have Rebecca, first edition Rebecca. So I actually went out to Walmart and I got Rebecca and first edition Rochelle one morning when we were grocery shopping. I went out and I bought the 2 of them because they weren't at a lot of stores, and that was right around the time my collection was just starting, and I really, really loved Rebecca's gear eyes. And Rochelle is one of my favorite characters, so I wanted the like original version of her. So I got them together. And then Coffin Bean Rebecca I got from the same people I got Dead from for $1. Scarus Rochelle, she was my 5th Monster High doll in my collection, and she was one of the reasons I wanted to get into collecting Monster High dolls, because when we were looking for Scarus Deuce, we saw a lot of Rochelle, and the reason why I didn't buy her as like my first is because there was a lot of things going on with the glue in the dolls' heads, and there was this rumor that only the Indonesian dolls have glue in their heads, which yes, the Indonesia dolls usually have it more often, but China dolls can have it too. So I was afraid to spend $20 on a doll and like her to have glue and then to be really upset because I didn't know how to treat it at the time. But then I was like, YOLO, I bought her, and she did eventually get sticky, but it was many years later and I know how to fix it now, and it really didn't take away from my enjoyment of her anyways. She is my favorite Rochelle in my collection. And then this Ghouls Night Out one is probably the prettiest girl. I got her in the 4-pack, and I was really tempted to buy her separately, but I told myself to wait, and I'm glad I did, because there was no need to spend like $20 on the single one when I got the pack. And what I like about her is how she doesn't have bangs, and you can really see her beautiful, vulnerable expression. And then Zombie Shake Rochelle, I don't think she was in my last collection video. I got her at the Salvation Army for $1, and I remember when I was looking there that day, that store is a complete dump. I thought I saw legs behind one of the shelves, and I actually had to like use something to move her out from behind the shelf because she fell back there. And I love her lips, and I remember wanting this set when it was brand new and almost getting it on sale at Kmart. And then we have Scarce Cleo. She is, again, one of my favorite characters. Colleen and I loved this doll when I got her. We made a special trip to Walmart to get her, and we like making her talk in Spanish. And, you know, she's a skeleton, so there's a lot of, like, funny jokes with that. And it's funny because when I originally got into collecting, I thought, no, that's not a doll.
I was like, no, that's too creepy, Shelly. We can't get that one.
And then in a few weeks, I had her, and I liked her so much that I began to stock art class Skelita, and I ended up getting her on sale at Marshall's for $9, I want to say, in 2014, and she was my 100th Monster High doll. So I've gotten 89 dolls after her. So I had about 100 in a little over a year, but then in the time since then, in the 5 years since then, I only got like 89, so you can tell I was really, really heavily buying them brand new that first year. And I do want more Skelita dolls, I just don't have very good luck finding them. Then we have first edition Spectra. She was my first Spectra doll and one of my original second-hand dolls. I got her with my Scarce Laguna and my second roller Mais Frankie. They were sold together like from this lady, dollar lady at the flea market. And I originally wasn't sure how I felt about Spectra, but when I saw her in person, I just had to get her. I did always like Picture Day Spectra. She was kind of my dream doll, and I ended up getting her and Ghouls Night Out. I got them at Barnes & Noble for the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. However, I had to go to a different store to get her, so she was well worth the trip. She's my favorite Spectra. Ghoul Spirit. I did not have her in my last video. I got her last summer in 2018 from that elderly couple that I also got first edition Toralei from. I actually got them the same day, so this is a good segue here. So I saw a bunch of Monster High dolls on their table, and they're usually like $3 or $4 each, so it kind of adds up, but Toralei first edition is one of my grail dolls. I really, 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 really wanted her, but she was not in stores anymore when I started collecting, and she was outrageous on eBay. So when I found her secondhand, I was over the moon, and I bought her without checking her over carefully, and when we got home, and this is I think captured on video in a haul, she had tape wrapped around her arm, and I knew right then and there she's broken, so you can kind of see the pin. She is featured in my How I Repair Broken Monster High Limbs video. I love a good rescue story, and, you know, I needed to learn how to fix them. So because I couldn't get first edition Toralei, I got the Goatee doll because they're actually identical facially. They just have different hands and different clothes. So that's why I ended up buying the whole pack, which wasn't very cheap at Toys R Us. But she is one of my favorites. She's pretty close to being tied with first edition Draculaura as my favorite. I've used this doll so many times. And of course, because I love Toralei, I really liked Power Ghouls. and we hunted for her a lot in stores.
I remember that when we finally found her, she was like in the Disney doll aisle.
Yes, remember we bought my Bratzilla's dolls, 2 of my witchy princesses that night.
Oh yeah.
And Do Chic Toralei I got on sale at Walmart for like $4, and any Monster High doll brand new for that price is pretty much a shoo-in with me, but Toralei is one of my favorite characters. I'm saying that a lot because it's true. I have more than one favorite, okay. So then we have first edition Venus McFlytrap. She was, again, one of the dolls that I secretly wanted before I started collecting. And I love her green and pink color scheme. So I actually got her on eBay in the spring of 2013. She was $27. And the reason why I got her on eBay, they did have her at Toys R Us, like on their website, but it was actually more because their shipping rates were so expensive and the dolls were marked up a little bit. So it made more sense to buy her on eBay. And I did get her with like this damaged eyebrow.
It's funny because after we got her, I saw her a few times at Toys R Us.
Yes, I know, but I don't mind the damaged eyebrow actually. I think it's kind of adds a little bit of like an edginess to her. So before I got first edition, I had swim class. She was one of my first 3 Monster High dolls because, as I said, I got Draculaura, Laguna, and Venus the same day at Benny's. It was actually Draculaura who found her way at the register because I knew I wanted a Venus doll, and I was obviously there to get Laguna.
The number of times a doll has like wormed her way to the register.
Yeah, it happened to Core Chloe too. Colleen's like, wait, when did that other dog come to the register with us? But they have the same face as you can see. She just has shorter hair, but there are variations that have green makeup. She's very sentimental, obviously. And then we have my Ghouls Night Out pack Venus, who I got with my other pack dolls. And what I love about her is she's my favorite from the set because her details are just to die for.
I was literally going to say the same thing. I feel like that whole pack is like a work of art. Like, they have such beautiful details, but she is by far the best.
Yeah,
I just love her.
Now we have my boys. Now, Claude here, School's Out Claude, this is also his original release. I did not have in my last video. I got him the same day as Holt over here and Picnic Casket Jackson. So this is first edition Holt. They were with the elderly people, and again, they were like $3-4 each. And I had been wanting like more guy dolls, but a lot of the original releases were well before the time I got into collecting, and then the later ones people were scalping and stuff. And then we have Nefera. She was a grail doll from the moment I started collecting Monster High. It took me until 2016 to get her. I got her and actually Cupid over here from Monster High Lady at the flea market, one of those big hauls that I got in 2016 where she had like a huge bag and like it took 3 weeks for us to pick them all off. But she is in wonderful condition, and I actually almost bought this doll on eBay many times, but I'm glad I waited. And then we have Victor. He is one of the Creative Monster Pack dolls.
We named him Victor.
Yeah, he was sold with the Vampire and Gargoyle set. I got him in the Salvation Army, and I love him. He has, like, Rochelle's really sweet face, and they actually did make Rochelle, like, an official boyfriend, but he's way cuter. And I like his school uniform. And like I said, I got Cupid from the same seller as Nefera over here. However, Cupid was the first doll we saw. She had all of them except Cupid stuffed in this big bag, and Cupid was just hanging out on the table with some boxed dolls, and I was very intrigued, but when she started pulling out other dolls, she
like
got
Nefera.
Lower priority because they were like $5 each.
So I think we actually doubled back for Cupid another weekend.
Yes, we did.
She was lower priority.
And I never thought I'd want a Cupid doll because I've always thought she was creepy because of her lips, but again, once I see them in person, I have to have them. And we have Heath over here. He is my second favorite Monster High guy in my collection after Deuce. And he's the one of the main reasons I wanted that pack, because I love his hair. Like, he's just awesome. So he's really special and sentimental because of all the trouble Colleen went through to get me this set. So then we have Miss Twyla. I got her from the Barnes & Noble Bonanza. So she was on sale, and please excuse her bangs. They don't stay where they're supposed to. And like I said, I got Picnic Casket Jackson from the elderly couple. However, he was my Jackson of choice. Moreover, the signature guy and Gloom Beach and the other Jacksons they made, he was the one I wanted. Like, he was my dream Jackson doll. And the day we got my Mansters pack at Toys R Us, they also had this set on sale, and I was this close to buying it. First edition Caddy Noir. I got her on sale at Target for, I believe, like $8.
$8.
Or, yeah, $8. Right after Christmas 2013, and we never liked her before, but when I saw her on sale, I had to get her, and I actually think she's way prettier out of the package. Slow-mo, I knew I wanted to find him the moment I first saw pictures released.
He's just so cute.
Because Ghoulia is one of her favorite characters, and he's darling, and I love that he was slim box, so he would be cheaper to get. So when I first saw him put out at my local Walmart, I grabbed him because they were only like $12 or something, so really glad to have him. And Invisibility was another one of the guys that I stalked for a really long time, but I only saw him at Kmart. But he was always, like, kind of overpriced because Kmart marks their dolls up. And I waited, and patience paid off because I ended up getting him on sale for $9.
And I remember Shelly had told me way back when, before they made the doll, that she really liked the look of the character on the show. And that she wanted them to make a doll of him, so it was perfect.
Yeah. Avia Trotter. I got her at the local Salvation Army. Now, I remember when this line came out, we both said, no, Mattel's really pushed it too far this time. The doll has a horse rear end instead of a body.
And
that's not okay.
We put her with the dolls, we put her with the horses, it's just too much.
Even as we warmed up to more Monster High characters, there was always this, no, we're not gonna get Avia ever. Like, she could be free and we wouldn't take her. Well, she showed up at the local Salvation Army for $1. She was the first doll I saw that day, sitting on a shelf with other horses, and I was like, Avia Trotter. And we didn't even have a conversation.
No, we just picked her up.
We just picked her up, like, yeah, we're taking her.
And then I fell deeply in love with her when I made her and Deuce dance to Rob Thomas in the car on the way home.
Yes, so Avia is one of Colleen's favorites.
I love Avia.
And then, of course, we have Bonita Femur, who is from her line. And I got her for $1 at the local flea market a few months later. And I love her long hair. Like, do you see how long that is? It's gorgeous.
She has her wings just downstairs because they're huge.
Yes, they're very cumbersome. I got Dracula from the elderly couple at the flea market in 2018, I think? Yeah. She's really cool. I never knew how I felt about, like, the combo dolls, but as time went on, I ended up kind of getting fond of them. She's from the Frights Camera Action line. I always thought she was kind of weird looking in stores, but as we started to get more dolls from, like, that 2013, 2014 era, the more I wanted Viperine, and when I saw her at the local Salvation Army, I could not resist. However, she has cut hair, as you can see, so I had to kind of fix it and give her like this Farrah Fawcett do, but I adore her very much. And my two Costa Fierce dolls, I have to lay them down because the dresses are really tight. So this was my first one. I got her brand new for full price at Walmart. She was one of those dolls that I heard they were coming out with her. I saw the pictures and I'm like, yep, I'm getting that doll. Goodbye, $20. So the first time I saw her, I bought her. I could have waited to get her on sale. Patience was not my thing back in the day. And I just love her like purple and orange hair. I love her outfit. I love that she's supposed to be like Sasha Fierce, like Beyonce, because I was obsessed with Beyonce as a kid. And then I didn't think any other Costa Fierce could steal my heart, but then I got this doll. Behold, all of her glory. It's from the limbless lot, which I mentioned, though the guy just said when the dolls were missing body parts that we could take all of them. And I had actually seen Costa before any of the other dolls on the table, and I kind of like wanted her just because, but I wasn't gonna buy her separately, so I was really excited, like one of my favorites. And then I crimped her hair, and
she has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, and I just really like how it whooshes now, and I also gave her these ridiculous earrings that
and
you can't
she had to order her hand online.
Yeah, she was missing a hand. So, did I need Costa? No. Do I regret getting her? Absolutely not. So then we have Freak Du Chic Honey, who, she's like a marionette, so she can't sit. I got her on sale at Walmart for $4, and by this point, I wanted Frights Camera Action Honey Swap.
That commercial has embedded itself into my mind.
It's very iconic. Freak Du Chic Goliath. However, we call her Ghoulia, but it's supposed to be like Goliath, like Goliath. I got her at the Salvation Army for $1 or $2, and I knew who she was when I saw her, and I was just like, well, why the heck not? I think
we got her and Rochelle together, right?
I believe so, yeah. I don't usually go for dolls that are larger in scale because they take up more room, but I really like her, and you can see I made her a bunch of ridiculous accessories. Posea Reef, and the Histers, Perry and Pearl. These are from the Great Scary Reef line, and I'm going to talk about them together because I actually got them at the Salvation Army too on totally different occasions. Like, I got her in 2017, right before the flea market season started, and I got these guys this year in 2019. This was one of those lines that I thought Mattel pushed it too far, and I did not want any part of it, but the second the dolls...
Although you did say you secretly wanted Toralei.
I did. But the second the dolls showed up, I had to get them. And she was my first one from this set, and I really, really love her. I think she's gorgeous, and I had fun making her accessories. And Perry and Pearl, we had actually seen that elderly couple we buy a lot of Monster High from, had a set of them for $8, and I was like really tempted to buy them, but I was like, they're still in stores. That seems kind of steep because I could get them on sale. But I ended up getting these guys for $1. And they're awesome. Like, we have way too much fun with them. I mean, they're very cumbersome, but I don't care. Then we have EC Dawn Dancer. Again, one of those dolls that I saw her, I fell in love, and I stalked her for months and months. And I told myself I was going to wait for her to go on a really good sale, and I finally found her at Kmart for $9. She's definitely one of my favorite, like, one-off characters. I wish they made more of her. She's just really beautiful and unique, and Colleen didn't even know who the doll was until, like, she saw me constantly looking for her, and then she understood. Who is
she looking for? And then, oh yeah, I get it.
She's fabulous. I got her right after I filmed my other video too. It was like not long after. And then the best for last, Vampire Kitchen Monster Family Dracula. Now, like I said with Draculaura, I really wanted this pack because I wanted Daddy, I wanted the kitchen, I like the idea of families, but it was way too expensive, and he ended up being a birthday surprise. And you have seen him, and if you watch my videos regularly, he is always in the little skits we do because Colleen does this accent, and it's because when Beth wrapped the present for me, because Colleen couldn't hide it at our house or I'd find it, she put little speech bubbles. I have an opening video of this set on my channel if you want to see. She put little speech bubbles with the dolls talking to each other, and she did it like in the vampire accent. So when we were opening up the dolls on camera, I had Colleen read the speech bubbles, and that's kind of how his persona was born. And now he has this whole crazy fictitious storyline. One of those dolls that comes to life, and I know if we had been kids, we would have totally wanted this set. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Like I said at the beginning, if you are interested in seeing pictures of these dolls for any reason, feel free to check out my Flickr. I will link it below as always. So sorry that this took so long, and I hope you enjoyed if you're still watching. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.